All right, so welcome to today's session. Once again, I'm your trainer, Joanne Apio, from Kavibe, Uganda. I'm a communications and marketing specialist. I'll be taking this training together with Kahil Patricia from Kahil Insights Uganda. And the training is for 3 days, starting from today up to Friday, from 9 to 1 p.m. Our training will focus mainly on content management and reporting. The first 2 sections will be handled by Kahil, and I'll come in to handle the issue of metrics, reporting, tracking for social media. So previously we've held a training, and we've talked about content creation, scheduling, and Kahil will speak a bit about that, just to have a recap. And then also after we've invested time. After we've invested time, we'll be able to know how to track our channels. So we did have a survey on expectations, and these are some of the expectations that you shared with us. So one is that you'd like to manage social media content, and also understand how to be able to use social media to promote your businesses. And then also others say that they would like to know how to measure and set benchmarks for success. And then also there were contributions that came in that mentioned that you'd like to know how to do paid posts and gain followers. So it's really about how to engage online and then how to create content online. So the first 2 episodes will be handed over by Kahil, who will talk about content creation, management, scheduling, all that. She'll talk about the art of social media. And then I'll come in to talk about the science, measuring, reporting, which will be on day 3. So for today and tomorrow, we shall speak about content creation, content management, and strategy. And then for Friday, we'll talk about reporting, tracking, and measuring. So from what you expressed in terms of interest or areas to study, you mentioned that you'd like to learn more about content management and scheduling, and then followed by content reporting. A few of you mentioned that you want to learn about marketing skills. So we shall touch base on those 2 items and then emphasize the issues of marketing using social media. So that is the expectations from today. Apologies again, we began a bit late, but we hope to have a smooth training from today up to Friday. So right now we'll go into the next presentation, which will be done by Kahil. And Kahil, you're most welcome.
How are you, everyone? Welcome to today's session. Thank you for taking time. We apologize again for the delays in our time. So, about the expectations that we saw and what we are going to work with, we are going to talk about content management today. And most of you asked questions on how do I create content? How do I manage it? How do I present it? How do I keep it? What processes do I have to go in to create? We are going to talk about content management today. Give me a second. I'm trying to follow my presentation. Wait, you guys can't hear me. Anyway, as my presentation is being prepared, let me just start. I don't want to waste any more of your time. So what is content management and why is it important in the content marketing space? Why do we do it? What does it entail? So first and foremost, we already talked about content marketing when we started last month. So I don't really want to go back into that. The videos are on YouTube. You can check them on the forums pages. So for today, I'm going to make sure that we concentrate on content marketing, content management, its life cycle, the processes that are included in it. So in the definition for content management would be a process. So it's a process where content is created, the process where you plan the content, you document it, you save it, post it, evaluate it. That is how it is done. So we're going to get a good grip on how you do that whole process, how the whole cycle works. From what point to the next one, where do you come in, where do you remove, where do you stop, where do you start? Just think of the many emails you receive daily and the many emailers that come through all the social media platforms that you work on, all the blogs. All that is how the content is shared worldwide. So there are phases in the content management life cycle where as content management is the process of planning, as I say, developing, managing, deploying, preserving, and evaluating all the content within the whole enterprise. So content management helps to control the explosive increase of content by using it effectively. As any human being, we have a cycle. So I wake up today, I eat, I sleep, I go back to sleep. That is a cycle. So even content has a cycle. It has a beginning, it has an end, it retires. So process of content management, the life cycle itself includes planning, development, control, deploy, preserve, evaluate. So all of those, you have to look through all of them. But at the center of the cycle of content management is the business processes or the business goals or the organizational goals or your project goals that you're working on, or any goals that you have set for the big project that is going to use digital platforms where content management comes through. So it is in the center of the content management life cycle. It's what feeds the content management life cycle. So it is not a coincidence that business processes are in the center. They help with the planning to evaluating the content. They help to direct the links with the business processes. They help with management of the life cycle, and they align the business processes to stop doing or to start doing. So that is how they connect. So I don't know if you guys can see my presentation. I don't know. Are you guys seeing it? Is it there? Okay. Let me share. Joanna, are you going to help me share? Or I share? Okay, as they try to get the presentation up, me, I will continue because I have my notes. So the plan, the first one in your content management life cycle is a plan. So in the planning phase, the current situation and the requirements are analyzed and quantified. Here you're now looking at saying, I have a content management strategy or your content marketing strategy. You've already aligned it with the business objectives. So when you align all of that, you have that is as a start. So your opinion in everything that the content organization has is going into all of that. So your content on the content strategy that has already been created. So the content strategy is now helping you translate all your business goals, all your business processes into one thing, your content management process or life cycle. So in the content management life cycle, and that is life cycle 1 planning, you're analyzing. So you're going to analyze, examine business goals, analyze the content that is available, analyze the content life cycle. What I mean by content life cycle is how long this lasts for this whole content that we've created, for how many months are we going to use it. That is the analyzation in the planning. Then quantifying is to define measurable indicators to decide in the evaluation process if the content management strategy is successful. So you already have that strategy that you already created outside the business goal. Now the idea is to evaluate how is it going to work through? Is it going to come through and make sense? Is it going to come through and develop what you want to aim or what the goals are like? And then, so we are in planning. So planning has analyze, quantify, then align. Aligning is matching the content management strategy with the business goals and objectives. So everything that the content management strategy that you have, or content marketing strategy for those who own businesses or who are online, and you are on this call and you are a business owner and you have a marketing strategy, but a content marketing strategy. So you're going to align the content marketing strategy with the business goals and objectives. Then you're going to go down to the designing. So the designing, you're going to develop your information. That is the content model. Then if you're doing a website or you're doing a blog on your website, you're going to find the metadata, you're going to find interactions, design, all of them, and then encompass them into and develop a governance policy of your plan. It's the one that is helping content and you come through to the next step that is now going to be to develop. Not having the plan. The plan, an analysis, it is quantifying and alignment, and then the design. The design is one that comes up with a policy, with the governance policy. So I don't know if you are all together. If I've lost you anywhere, please put in chat bar and let me know that we are still
let me know in the chat bar if I am still here. Video is not being read. From video. Okay, okay, whoever is giving us feedback, there's a lot of feedback.
Okay, I think it's stable now, guys. Do you still get feedback or it's now fine? Okay. I think now it is okay. It's now better. Okay. Okay, thank you. About my presentation, hold on a minute. I was waiting for my thingy, but now let me, sorry guys. Is it on my screen? Can you guys see it? Yet? Someone out there tell me know if my presentation is up. Okay, let me first stop share and then come back again. Share. Sorry guys, it's not sharing. I don't know. Okay, let's give Joanna a second. She tries to help me share. It's not coming onto that screen. I don't know. I don't understand. I'm going to just continue. I don't want to waste your time trying to get this. Let me wait for Joan to start sharing it. Okay. Okay. Let me do that. Continue. To develop, so we've done planning, and planning we say there's analyzing, there's quantifying, there's alignment, there is design. Now we are going to do developing. So developing content is when you're creating, you're editing, you're capturing, you're collecting, you're acquainted to all the other ways, let me say, videographing, pictures, taking pictures, you know how to write your metadata, you know how to write copy, you know how to do the graphic designs, you know how to edit all those things. So this is where the development idea comes through. So you're going to create, that is now become an author or of original content using editing tools, web forms, rich media tools. You're going to use any of the Adobe platforms or any of the other editing tools that are there that you are acquainted with. You're a photographer, you're going to take pictures and then edit them. You are a writer, you're going to make sure either you have Grammarly to help you with grammar, to help you with positioning your paragraphs. And if you're a designer, you're going to look for a copywriter to help you with copy and putting up the copy well. Then you're going to capture. That means you're converting and integrating everything that you have into one particular point. You're bringing them into life and having them into one place. So it's like I have videos, I have photos, I have blogs, then I have what is the other content item? I would say you have songs or music, all of putting them in one basket. So you've collected all of them, and now you're going to syndicate. So where does each one go? You put them in order, logical order, or grouping, and letting everyone know that this is what is supposed to go up, this is what is going to go next, this is what I am. Then in there, as you're arranging them or correcting them, you're categorizing also. So the categorizing is now adding metadata, or what I would call captions, on some of the photos that you have or the videos that you have. So you organize all of them, group them into classic content according to your specific characteristics, and enabling the search and retrieving. So you're reusing, you're tracking, you're reporting, you're rerouting, or delivering all this content to the people that you want to be posting. Yeah. I think my presentation is now up. Thank you, Joanne. So you can scroll down. Thank you very much. Go to the last part. I think it's page 1. Continue. Yes. Now, we are here. So we were on, so we've done planning, as you guys can see. Thank you, John. Thank you very much. And now we have done develop. And then we have then control. That is where we are headed to. Questions, please. I can take questions anywhere. If you have them in the sidebar, if you, unfortunately, you can't see my presentation. Why can't you see my presentation? I can see it. It's there. Please let me know if you can see the presentation. Someone, anyone? Yes, you say you can't see my presentation, but I can see it now on, I don't know if you can see it. Thank you guys. So now you can follow. Okay. Oh, it looks amazing. Thank you, Esther. Okay. So the next thing we are going to is control. So in control, we have now, so we've done, let me just put it in. Now let me put it in from development to development, and then in control. So we've analyzed, we quantified, we've aligned, we've designed. Now we have created, we have captured, we have collected, we have categorized. Now we bring all that into control. Control has where you're going to store the content, how you're going to make sure that it is secure, what reviews you're going to be using to review if I've posted it, what is the measure. If this comes through, this is the answer I'm going to have. That is what review means. And then approval. Most of us are working with organizations or our own organizations. That means we'll need approval from either someone who is handling, who is above us, who is going to help us understand or give a leeway, authorize that it goes out. Yeah. So this is where control happens. It's like the person who has the power to let you post what you've created. It's a person who controls your budget for creation. So just to add matter to, so store is to develop content into a content repost. So it's, yeah, you're posting it. Like I have this database of pictures, or I have these 20 blogs that have been written. I have these small videos that have been created on this particular topic. I have these flyers and we've designed all of them. Then that is what Secure is about. Secure is assigning roles also. In Secure, you're also assigning roles. Who is going to help me post? Who is going to help me put captions? Who is going to help me edit? Who is going to approve? You also have someone who is going to delete from the folder. Like someone, you might be the same person, but those are the different roles that come through. If you're a big organization that deals with very many big volumes of content, then you have to assign some of these duties to someone else. Then you're going to also do audits to track, assess changes, approvals, and deletions. There's that content you create and you yourself you're like, yeah, it is very nice, it's good, it's gonna work. And then someone else comes in and says, it does not resonate to the goals that was set out in the content strategy. It does not resonate with the business processes. It doesn't. So someone then deletes, then the other person approves. That is the people now. In here, there's also a reviews. Remember reviews? So we are examining, improving the content for clarity, comprehension, appropriateness, accuracy, findability. Findability is how is this content going to be found? Like, if we've created it now, where is it going to go? So you're also doing that findability, accessibility, usability. Is it going to be reused? Are people going to download it and reuse it? Is it only us who are going to work with it? Things like that. Then approval, just adding meat to approval. Authority, make sure that the person who is your publisher, your head of, I would say head of content for some organizations, others have head of marketing, others have my supervisor for digital marketing. This is the person that helps you to approve. Now we are going to the interesting part, deployment. Next slide, my dear. Deployment. Content is assembled and delivered to users using a variety of publishing mechanisms and channels. Content can be personalized to meet the needs of the individual user and localized to reflect the region, culture, norms, and brand values. So this is where deployment comes in. You're now looking at, does it resonate with the culture norms? Does it resonate with the region we are targeting? Does it resonate with the business brand values? You start with assembly. You assemble, and in assemble, that is you aggregate the content into logical structures like documents, web pages, like now that is mainly for website content. For social media content, now you're looking and saying this will go in the video section, this will go on the photo section, this will be just posts alone. These are going to be tweets, these are going to be videos that will be put on WhatsApp, this is going to be videos for YouTube, this is for TikTok. That is the assembly. And this assembly is done according to demand, because you might be posting your videos on YouTube, no one is interested in them. And then only people are interested in the videos are on TikTok. So you have to cut them and then put them on TikTok. So you have also assembled them according to the demand that you have. Then syndicating. Which content are we going to syndicate in different platforms? Are we going to syndicate from Facebook to Instagram or Instagram to Facebook? Are we syndicating from YouTube to YouTube that no longer does syndicating? I would say even Twitter doesn't syndicate. LinkedIn to Twitter, or actual website to all the other platforms. So how are you syndicating that? Then personalization, where you tailor meet needs of individual users. There's that point where you say at Linda Asara, and then you put the content down because you're interested in that. Or where I say, this video would resonate with a question you asked from us last time. So you create such personalized content items that help someone who asked the question last time, or who think might ask. You've seen a comment they have put up and want to answer it on a broader way, but also targeting them. That is personalizing the content. Localization, as I said, adopt content to make it appropriate for content consumers who speak a specific language or reside in specific countries or regions. So if I'm going to, if it's an interactive page where you are, I would say like the forum page, which is for all of Africa, that means at 10 point T is going to have French content and just citing French speaking countries. Then there's going to be Swahili for Kenya and Tanzania countries that speak Swahili. Then there's going to be the English that comes through because you're localizing the content for those specific areas. Then we can publish. Render or output content from a content management system into a desired delivery format. What I mean by content management system, this is Facebook has a content management system which is called Creator Studio. And then a website has a content management system, which is where you write, that is WordPress, where you write all the content. Twitter has where you create the tweets, but then in the back end, there's also where it does the management, where it gives you the tools of publication and all the other ones, advertising and all that. You can find those in your specialized, it's called, you find those in your tools on Twitter. On your side of the profile, you see them there. And then LinkedIn gives you the polls, it gives you the articles, it gives you the videos, it gives you the photo. That is a management system for your content. Now we are done with deployment. Do I have questions? Do I have questions, guys? Please. Are we understanding? There's even asking for questions. Are you guys understanding? Please tell me that you're understanding. I share the slides. The slides are on, right? You want to be shared after. Charlie, is that what you're saying? Please, guys, are you understanding? If you're understanding, put in the chat by yes, 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 yes. If you're not understanding, put no. Then you also tell me where you're not understanding. Are you guys still there? I am waiting for you guys to let me know before I go to preserve. Thank you, Charlie. It will share at the end of the presentation. Someone else? I need yeses, guys. Don't make me feel like I'm alone here. Oh, yes. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Charlie. Okay. Guys, we are 29 people on here. I need 20 more. Okay, without myself, be 26. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. I need to know that I am impacting you. Thank you, Pius. Thank you, Feston. I can see you. Come on, come on. So far, so good, Charlie. Thank you. Okay. Come on, guys. So I can check on your what? Did it be 5 people? Alex, well done. Thank you. Come on, come on. Charlie, can you write the people in the chat and ask them to come through? I don't want to leave anyone behind. I'm going to now call names. Then we can see who's here, participants. I'm going to start calling names. Start calling names because I don't see my yeses and I don't see my no's. At least give me a no if you're not understanding. Okay, I see Hamida, I see Alice, I see Blessing, where are you? I see Adima. I see Charlie being very interactive. Thank you. I see Dansta. I see David. Where are you? Diana, Edna, Esther. Thank you for being in. Okay, I see them coming. Thank you, guys. I can see. But someone, is there anyone who has a no? I need someone who has a no. I can't be very, very on point. John, I can see you on the participants, but I don't see your yes or your no. Jacob, where are you? Guys, bring them in. I'm going to preserve and I need to know that the job is well done. Okay. Well, now they are coming. Thank you. I'm adding you now to John to continue monitoring the yeses. Let's continue to preserve, archive, backup, migrate. This is why you also have destroy. As in, who knew you can destroy content? Then it is no longer making sense. Now I do not want it, so let's destroy it. So when do you destroy content? You destroy content when you no longer find value for it, for the organization. It's no longer eligible. It is history. Sometimes it doesn't make sense for the people online. They're saying, what is this? So you're like, you know what? Let's stop this one. Doesn't make sense. Remove that video, remove that blog, remove. That is when you destroy the content. But now, let's go back to archiving. So archiving, you store legacy content, securing outside of the content management system to address issues of accountability and make content available for future use. This is archiving it and saying, this one we can reuse. This one, they are going to ask me in the accounts where the money went. So I need to save it so that when they ask, where did the money go? We're like, yeah, that $2 billion you gave me, we did this big video and this is where it is. So it helps with accountability purposes. Then also preserving helps with backup, because most times you create your content and the flyers get lost, your PC crashes, the servers get off, you need to save it somewhere else. Actually, it's advised to save your content in 3 different locations so that it is easier for you to find it. Copy, save content to any other location, give it to a colleague on another PC at home, but make sure you have authority. Remember the governance policy? The governance policy has to have that in its one of the clauses that you develop. Who is going to help you with backing up? Where are they going to back it up? Then migration. So you mitigate. You mitigate content from other systems to your content management system and mitigate the content to another system or format. This is mainly when you are changing the video to either an audio, or you're changing a blog into an audio, a broadcast, or you're changing a flyer into a GIF. So all these are into preserving that content to be something else, so that it is long lasting. It doesn't become one that is you're going to destroy, or that ends up into the fire of destruction. So if all the 3 above fail, and you see this content doesn't make sense, so yeah, you will cycle bin it. Like, yeah, remove it from all systems, drop it, let's find something new to use. Then evaluate, which is the interesting one. Next slide. Evaluate, which is the one that makes content management the reason why it is content management. It makes the purpose, it brings out the actual goal of the content. Here, you're going to audit, you're going to measure, you're going to research again, and you're going to adapt. What are you auditing? You're performing a systematic examination of content management processes, like the whole process from the beginning, from planning, where we started from, and then you're coming down to the technology performance. Technology performance is mainly the platforms that you put it on. How does it perform? So now, how did the technology adapt to it? How did it improve it? How did it work? Did Facebook say, no, this video is not acceptable on our platform? Or did Twitter say this kind of format does not work? And then the last one is the customer satisfaction, the end user that you created for. How many likes came through? How many comments came through? How was it interactive or interacted with? Did it get shared? Did you find it now on WhatsApp when you only shared it on YouTube? Or did you find it on TikTok when you only shared it on YouTube? Did you find it on Twitter when it was only a Facebook post? So all those kind of things, that is where you're auditing the content and say, okay, this content actually brought back results. It did this. Then the measure, quantity, and compare the audit results against the defined indicators in phase 1. Remember the planning? We said where we're supposed to put indicators of how the content will work. So now here you're measuring them, like the quantity, and then you're comparing it with the audit. And then you're looking in the indicators to see. I'll give it, okay, let me here give actually a good example. So we produced 20 flyers, and we're talking about this training. No, it's not that we did produce 20, but I'm giving an example. So we produced 20 flyers, and they're talking about this content marketing class that is going to happen. Now, in the flyers, we have posted them on Facebook, we posted them on Twitter, we posted them on Instagram, we posted them on LinkedIn, we even did WhatsApp. Now, on those platforms, we are measuring to see how many people on WhatsApp saw. So you go in and see these people saw, 100 people saw this flyer. Okay. On Twitter, how many people were engaged? These are 200 and something people. On Facebook, how many people got engagements? These are 300 and something people. Then you pull that in, you make the numbers together, and then you go on the defined indicators. Did we say that engagement is an indicator for how our content is going to perform? If we did not say that, then we are not going to use engagement as an indicator. So even in our measuring, we are not going to measure engagement. Maybe we are going to measure reach. And that is what we put there as a determinant of the project's success in the report. So we make that. Whatever we put in the planning up becomes the one what we measure down here. Then we do a research, investigate the new technologies. We missed out, let me say, we missed out on LinkedIn. We didn't post on LinkedIn. We missed out on sharing on TikTok. It didn't happen. Now we have to research and see which other tools, or we didn't create a nice GIF. We only used flyers. We didn't put out video. We didn't put out podcasts about this thing. So all that, those are other researches. Now we are saying, okay, what new places can we get in? Where can we integrate ourselves into with the content that we have? So you look into also the methodologies of creation. How did we create? Did we think about the people we are creating for, or we just created for our own, because we have the information, it is ours, we're going to just create. Or we created for the people. Now, when you research all that and look into it, then you adapt. The adaptation is more to say, this content worked, this did work, we are adjusting the strategy that we use, because the strategy is one that led to the creation of this content, and the strategy does not now work with the business plan or the business goals. So we just the strategy, you address the results of your evaluation, then you use this information to alter the plan. So you remember that now how the flow chart goes. So it's plan, then from the plan, you go back to like that until the end. So that is the end of how you manage content, your content management. In that process, you have got that you are planning, you're planning. Slides up again, please. Put the slides back up. Yeah. That one. No. How do you manage that process? So they're managing that process through planning, developing, control, deploy, preserve, evaluate. That is how you manage your process. The content that you're creating, remember always, it has a cycle. It may be for 10 years, but it might be for 1 hour, it may be for a minute, but it has a cycle. WhatsApp statuses content is 24 hours, the statuses. The statuses for all statuses all over. For WhatsApp, for Instagram, for Facebook, for LinkedIn, all statuses, they have 24 hours. That is their cycle. On other pages, Facebook, if your content that you posted on Facebook is not liked or commented on or shared, the cycle is just a week. It dies. Like no one goes back to look for it. That's how it dies. Then, as the process goes on, the life cycle of your content either grows or it goes down. There's those content items you put up on your pages or your platforms, and they look like they're not working, but then as you're trying to demolish or destroy them and remove them from your page or even remove them from your database, then someone comes and comments after like 2 weeks or after a month, and then you find a comment on that post, or you find someone has shared. Then those ones you'll be like, okay, this post may have a life cycle. Maybe we just have to change how we edited it, how we formatted it, how we presented it, or on the platform we shared it on an appropriate platform. So in the cycle, in the circle of your life cycle of your content, the business process, always remember that. How is the business working at this stage in your business? Where are you at? What are you doing in your business? What is functional? What is not functional? That is what feeds into content process. That is where it goes in. And then those goals are the ones that feed the content management. That content management must meet those processes or must meet those business goals or the objectives and aspects. Now I would love to have good questions from you guys. That's the end of my presentation. Yes. I'm muted. Tiger, you're saying I'm muted. Was I muted, guys? You weren't hearing me. Oh, I'm sorry. Guys, I thought you can hear me. Forgive me. So I was saying, if you have questions, please bring them through, ask me questions. And also I realize that we have new people who have just joined and yet just finished the presentation. So I was wondering if it is okay to recap. Can I recap? Can I go back and just go through everything? Because the majority were here, but some people like 5 or 10, no, between 5 and 7 have just joined. And I don't know if it will be fair for the people who are already here if I recap. But for recapping, you can put in comments and tell me. You can put in the chat bar and let me know if I can recap. I'm welcoming questions for the people who have been here earlier. You can come through. I have a recap request from McDonald. McDonald wants a recap. Dana wants a recap. Shall we get the recording on YouTube as there are many interruptions? Yes, you get a link on the YouTube channel. When we end, you will receive the link so that you can see that. Okay, I have to request for recap. Who else needs a recap? I know when we started, the presentation was not showing. Yeah. Can you repeat the audit function under evaluation? And okay, yeah, I can redo that. The security part, okay. Thank you, Kato. Okay. So let me recap in really fast, like 5 minutes recap for people who have not been on. So can you put the presentation on the start? Okay. Okay. Let's recap, guys. Let's recap. I still have time. We have just gone through everything, so I have enough time to recap. So let's recap. What are we studying or what are we learning today? We are learning about content management life cycle. So when you have your content or you've already done a content marketing strategy, you've done a content strategy of creation, what you're going to create and everything. How do you manage that content that you already have or you're going to create? So this is what we are learning today. So management of content has been a challenge, I know, for very many people, and very many forms. Many people think that content is just the posts that we put up. We don't look into the books that we are reading, that is content. We don't look at the documentation or the documents that we have stored away, or the research we have done. We only think that content is what goes on online. We don't look at the videos that go on TV or the sound bites that go on radio. So more people create more content, and thanks to the web, more people have more access to more content. So anyway, My technical person is helping with the audio. That's what's happening. That's why I'm stopping suddenly. Okay, been asked to mute the one that I have that is showing on your side so that I can go through the audio that is on my speaker. So, guys. Okay. I was trying to see if the mic have been provided when I have a mic. It's audio enough for you guys, but it's not working. So I'm using my audio, but the presentation is being done on the main screen. I think you can see that. So what was I talking about? Content management. So content management is a process for collection, delivery, retrieval, governance, overall management of information in any format. The term is typically used in reference to administration of the digital content life cycle from creation to permanent storage or dilution. Or this is a set of processes or technologies that support the creation, managing, publishing of information in any form or medium. That is what content management is about. Next slide. So we are passing through a recapping for people. So how do you manage that process? Content has a cycle, as I ended earlier. So now I'm just recapping. Content has a cycle. It has a start and an end. It begins from a business process. The goals of the business process are the ones that lead into content management. What is the content management cycle? There are 6 phases of the content management cycle. There's a plan, there's development, there's control, there's deploy, there's preserve, there's evaluation. We are going to tackle each one of all the 6 as we go. Remember, if I'm to draw a circle, in the middle of that cycle, you know how a cycle is made. I wanted to draw for you guys, but I failed. I didn't have enough. I'm not really a good designer, so I didn't design this thing I wanted to design. But it's a circle. In the middle of that circle is where the business processes are, in the middle of it. Then off it is where these other 6 are built off. That's how it's supposed to look like. When I get time, I will draw it, put it in the presentation, then the presentation will be sent to you and you'll find it in there. After I put it there, I will draw with my pen if need be. So let's go to the plan. Planning has to happen for every content. So plan is phase 1. How do we plan? We analyze, we quantify, we align, we design. That's what happens in planning. Then we go to development. We create, we capture, we collect, we categorize. Then we go to control. Control is we store, we secure, we review, we approve. Then we go to deploy. In deployment, we assemble, we syndicate, we personalize, we localize, we publish. Preserve, we do archive, we back up, then we mitigate, and then destroy. Sorry, the person is doing that. Sorry, she forgot. So in all these things, going back to the questions that have been asked, you asked me to recap, that I've done the recap. Now I'm going to look at the questions where someone asked me about security. We have not talked about the security part. Security part is mainly, so you've created your content and you need to secure it, that it is spoiled. That is the first thing. It is not lost. That's the second thing. And then it is not plagiarized. That is the third thing. The fourth one is it's backed up. I would say backed up. So how do you do all these? First, plagiary, you have to mark it. I would say for pictures, you watermark them. For blogs, make sure you put your name in the blog, you put the business in the blog, you mention, if it's not a creative blog that someone else can use where it goes into the Creative Commons and it's just supposed to be a copyrighted item, you're going to make sure that it is tagged with your names, you're going to make sure that it's tagged with a business that it's been created for, names are mentioned in there, the creator is mentioned, all those things are done. Then the other secure part is, where are you saving it? Or where are you backing it up? Is it on your PC? Is it on the company server? Is it on the cloud? Who has passwords to those places? Who is going to be able to find it? How is it allocated? Those kind of things. That is how you secure the content. I hope, Kato, I have answered you on that one, because that is what you asked me to explain that I talked about. Let me know if I have, Kato. Are you still there or you left? There's a question here about the audit function. So the audit function in evaluation is mainly to help you auditing evaluation. Auditing evaluation helps you to perform systematic examination of your content management processes. So let me give you an example. So you've created this content and you've created a video. It's a really nice video. It's working very well. You've posted it already. Now you're going in to evaluate and see how it's working. Like, is it resonating? Is it bringing back on desired goal? Because remember, the goal you have is in the plan, and the plan comes from the business process. The business said, we want to reach 10 million people with our information. That you say your strategy is, we're going to use content, we're going to share on Facebook, we're going to share on digital platforms, and then the thing we're going to share, we're going to develop blogs, we are going to do videos, we're all going to do what else? Podcasts, we're going to host spaces on Twitter to make sure that information goes out. Now, going back to the auditing, we're looking at, we say we are going to get to million people. We audit and see how far we are going. Can we see if we're actually achieving that 10 million people? Is it working? Actually, the idea of your audit is mainly to say, is it working? If it's not working, can we chop it now and bring in something new? Can we remove it and bring in something else? That is what it does. It performs a systematic examination of your content management processes also. It does that on the content side, and then also does on the processes. Are we doing very good? Are we doing very good preservers? Or our content is lost? Someone may have taken the backup. Is it still there? Are we syndicating very well in deployment or not? So the audit, actually this audit in evaluation audits the other 5 of the processes. It goes in and audits and sees the personalization. Are we sure we are speaking to the right French people, or we are using Swahili and targeting French people? Are we still doing it right? Are we publishing on the right platforms that we say we're supposed to publish on, or we are off already? The approval, did we get approval really to post this banner, and we are just putting it up? Those are in the controls now. You've gone into the control to see the storage. You say storage and backup. Storage is in control. Backup is in deployment. You see, there are different places. Sorry, the backup is in what? In preservation. Those are different places. When you're storing, you're controlling that storage. When you're backing up, you're preserving. So now you're auditing yourself to see, am I storing well? Am I preserving well? That is how the audit function in evaluation works. Have I answered you very well? That was with this question. Blessing. Blessing, have I answered you very well? Charlie, well done. Okay, thank you for leaving a backup for you. It's okay. Okay, Blessing said yes. Okay, thank you, Blessing. Do we have any other questions, guys? I've done a recap for people who have just joined. I hope it makes sense for all of you. McDonald, are you still there? Does the recap make sense for you? McDonald, are you still there? When is McDonald still on or you dropped it? Any other questions, guys? Dan, you justice. Yeah, he dropped off. He's around. McDonald, are you still there? Do you have any questions from the recap? Anyone who has just joined that has any question? Okay, if I have no questions, I'm going to be handing over back to John, because that is today's presentation. Tomorrow, we're going to tackle the content strategy. How do you create a content strategy? What's the difference between a content marketing strategy, a content strategy, and a content plan? So tomorrow, that is what we're going to tackle. So when you have all this content and you've managed it, you're going to manage this content, you need to have a strategy. You need to know how you're going to present that content. You need to know why you're doing that content. You need to know the plan on how you're posting it. All of this is management. You've done it. It's ready to send our way to whoever needs to save it. Comes for presenting or for posting it online. What do you do? How do you strategize with the content that you already have? How do you implement it? We're going to learn about tomorrow. So that's why the strategy comes in, the content marketing strategy, the strategy, and then there's a content plan. And last month we talked about the difference between the strategy and the plan. If you're able, you can find these recordings actually on the forum platform. It is still there. You can know where the differentiations come from. Yeah. So I joined late, but the recap has helped. Okay, thank you, first on. Blessing, you are thanking me. Diana, present, please. Okay, thank you. If I have no more questions, guys, I'm going to, we have 3 questions in that. Okay, I have a question. Yes, Esther, please ask. How real is this on ground? Is this real applied? Is it only on theory? Actually, Esther, this is applied. I give an example. I run a digital marketing agency called Insights. We are only, we specialize mainly in creating content for businesses. That is what we do. That is my work and my team. And before we create for any business, we go through these processes. These processes help us as an agency and the businesses that we're working for, and even the people that come to learn from us to do their own personal content on how to go through the process of creation. One of the problems that arise with digital marketing or with the digital marketing sector is we do not want to plan ahead or present processes because we know things at the back of our heads. We think we know them at the back of our head, but then we forget some of these things to implement them. I'll give an example. You realize that storage and backup are 2 different things. But most times we tend to say, oh yeah, I have saved it on my laptop, but you've not backed it. You have stored it on your laptop, but you've not backed it up. When your laptop is stolen, every content you've ever created disappears like that. But if you go back into the management processes and you're like, you know what, this is so and so is supposed to get this. So immediately when you create, you share with, on my side, I will say, I share with Joanne and say, Joanne, this is a content we have created. Please, you are my backup for it. that process has helped you to back up that content. But if you did not back it up in the first place, because you don't have the processes to see who do I get even approvals, who do I get governance, that is the content you find online that does not coordinate with the pages. I'll give an example. Recently, in Uganda here, there's been a bank, and everyone is wondering why the bank is sharing such content on Twitter. Like, why are they putting such anger, enticing content on as a business to the people outside? And people are not actually happy about it. Me, when I looked at it, I just said, these people don't have a content marketing process. If they had a content management and marketing process, this wouldn't be happening. Because they would know that, okay, we are going to talk about the sports and what happened with Man U, but this is how we're going to talk about, not to entice people. Now that I've mentioned what the meat of that problem was, now you can go and figure out which actual business this is in the country. But if you have a process, there are things that you look into and they really become easier for you to work through. So in Career Insights, that's what we work with. Yeah, especially if it is helpful. The example I've given you. Please respond back and let me know if the answer is helpful. Esther, are you still there or you've left? Did she drop off? Can anyone see Esther? Okay. Okay, I've seen her. She has responded. It's clear. Thank you. Okay. I don't have any more questions. Do you have any more questions for me, guys? None whatsoever. Is this really applied? Have you got it? Okay.
It's more of an observation. Thank you, Cahill, so much for the presentation. And I think when you began presenting, I was reflecting, and one of the comments or expectations we had was people feel overwhelmed by social media. It's overwhelming. And now, after your presentation, it almost feels like you have to put more time. Remember, at first, we discussed the issue of how to create content. Now you put time to create content. Now you have to look at the processes. Then again, you have to monitor. And all this is just to do social media. But the other things you have to do, there is communications, there's PR, there is all these administrative things. So I think for me also, maybe how do you pace yourself as you're working with social media, so that at least you're more professional, you're more organized, but how do you pace yourself? Because people then end up feeling overwhelmed.
Oh. Okay, how do you pace yourself? That is a very nice question, Joanne. One thing, let's begin with the genesis of digital marketing. Digital marketing as digital marketing has been around for like centuries, really, because I would say in 1990 something, there was 6 degrees. That means that is digital marketing. There are people who are using 6 degrees to post and communicate about their things. But then social media came and was hyped by Facebook. Now, when it was hyped by Facebook, it became a skill. Everyone who was on Facebook used it of, I am on Facebook because I want to be on Facebook. We just learn on that job, or we learn because it's a hobby. People are just there doing like passion things. It wasn't a real profession. Like you walked into someone's office and told them, I'm going to do your Facebook, and be like, why? Why are you doing my Facebook? For what purpose? It doesn't make sense. What? Those things of being online all the time, you're not going to be working. We had these stories before. Now, because technology keeps changing and technology bringing in new ways of communication, new ways of marketing, new ways of how to interact with people, bring in people. And also because somehow from a natural human nature, we like being in spaces where we can speak without being seen, or where we are going to be confrontational and share our views without having someone backing up, like coming at us. Social media grew. When social media grew, everyone now is on Facebook, everyone is on Twitter, I am on WhatsApp. So I can talk to you guys right now without you seeing me. As in, right now you're seeing the half of me. Are you sure I am wearing trousers? Like, are you sure? You see it? But I'm in your space. I'm in your space right now. That is the, like, I am very near you, but then very far away from you. Here comes in to say that the unprofessionalism of Facebook now entered the not the unprofessional bundle of Facebook, it's the unprofessionalism of social media as a whole. Facebook becomes, it's a giant, so we use it as a bigger example, but the unprofessionalism of the whole of social media as a body, or as a sector, I would say, walked into the professionalism. Now, into the professionalism was not yet ready for what digital marketing or social media was bringing, was not ready for the technologies that these things needed to go with. So everyone was just like, oh, I also want to be on Facebook. Oh, I also want to be on social, on Twitter. But then why? Because everyone else is there. You see, if businesses joined Facebook, businesses joined Twitter because everyone else was there. They did not set goals. It's now that we learn why. That hold on a minute. There are supposed to be processes to this thing. There's supposed to be strategies to this thing. We have to plan for this thing. And now academic places have then adopted to teach about how to do digital marketing. But remember, digital marketing was not anywhere in any curriculum. It was everyone is people, young people on their phones, wasting time. I know many of you had these many things, either your parent or your boss, where you worked, the internet was switched off for social media. You never got to do Twitter. You never got all those things because it was a waste of time. Now it has become a huge thing. Google has added in Google Analytics. It has brought in Google My Business. It has brought in how your website is ranked, and the rankings are supposed to be on content. Now Facebook has even brought this whole big franchise of itself. The enterprise as Facebook is so huge. There's Instagram, there's WhatsApp, and then you get into the enterprise itself of Facebook. You find content studio, you find advertising, you find the content center, you find my God, all of this comes in, making social media marketing, making digital marketing a profession. Meaning, if you're a communications person, you're not the one who is going to actually be the digital communications person. Because as a communications person, you're handling PR, you're handling the marketing of I would say the PR, the all comms for the whole, like the whole comms. Then you are not going to be able to do effectively manage the Facebook, effectively manage the Twitter, effectively manage the activities that run through that have to bring in the right engagement, the right interactions for all these platforms, and then do the normal comms for the organization. This is why very many young people who have been on these platforms, who are called wasting time, have come in to say, let me help you with that part as you focus on the original part. You give me the goals, give me the strategies, give me the objectives, then me, I will implement in the content. Now here it then became a little bit hard for people. Digital marketeers walked in and they were doing social media page management. And they have been creating, they are coming in and saying, we have numbers, we are growing your numbers. And they're saying, hello, how are you, our followers? Good evening about the brand, the brand. Then the brand content got finished. And there was no more things to add. And the pages became, when the pages become dormant, the content marketeer walks in and says, you know what? this content that you've been posting is no longer relevant. Let's create new, interactive, engaging content items. Now, the content marketeer is offering support to the page manager, who is the digital marketer, where the digital marketer is helping the communication or the marketing person. So that is all. How the sector has 9 roles. 9 roles. If you want to do it well, you have to be able to do all the 9 roles. It's not possible. One person to do 9 roles. So that thing called 9 roles. A strong business. That make sure all these roles are fed. But if you do not have the budget, you're a small business, you're your own business, you're running your own cafe, you're going to find ways, either get coaching, get trained, like now you're being trained here, find the time to sit down and say, I'm going to take a week, create all I'm now to post. Today I'm posting everything for the whole month. Now that is going to come in when you are doing that strategy, posting must.
Thank you, Kahil. Thank you. And I think it's becoming a struggle for most organizations. First, you're employed as a communications person, and then they throw in, you must also do social media, and there's no training. So there you are, you must deliver. And of course, you need a job. And I think I've talked to many institutions, and it's still a struggle to differentiate between social media marketing and communications and branding and PR, all different titles. But I think when you have clear goals and you set up, it is easier for you to be able to justify. It's easier for you to be able to justify why people need to invest in social media. And if you can be as organized as Kahil said, you can be able to justify why you need to employ a different person to focus on social media. So Kahil, thanks again for the presentation. I know we began a little late and we missed our opening remarks, but it's never late. And since it's a 3 days meeting, I would like us to invite a Forum representative to speak to us, and the remarks will be focusing on today's training until Friday, so that we are able to hear from Roof Forum, who have graciously hosted us for this training, and we really appreciate. So at least we can share this, the wisdom that we have with other networks as well. So David, could you please invite a Roof Forum representative to speak to the audience?
Joan, we have the Deputy Executive Secretary for Roof Forum amongst us, Dr. Florence Nakaiwa. She will give the opening remarks on behalf of Roof Forum.
Thank you. Dr. Florence, please, the floor is yours. You're most welcome.
She's getting on. Hello. Yes, Joanne, you were saying?
I was saying you're most welcome. We missed your opening remarks when we began the session, and I know it's not too late for us to do the opening remarks because we have a 3-day training running from today up to Friday. So your valuable remarks will be appreciated for our audience. So the floor is yours, madam. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Joanne, and thank you very much, Patricia. I listened to the initial discussions and I thought they were quite encouraging. And I see now that the participation has really gone up, which is quite encouraging. So I want to thank everybody who has joined in this 3-day training for social media content management, strategy and reporting. We know, all of us know, that social media is the way to go these days. Today, I woke up to a picture of, for those of you who are Ugandans, a picture of Bobby Wine lifting Chiza Besigye as a baby. So I thought, who the hell has time to do this? And then I realized I'm coming to talk in content management strategy report. I said, this is a point for us to note when we do content management. What is it that we are looking at? As RUFORUM, as a network, as a university network, we know that social media has to be meaningful to our constituents. And I know that is what the training team is going to tell us. And we are very excited that we get to learn a little bit more than the misuse of social media that we have been experiencing. So this is building on what we had in September last month. So I want to welcome you and wish you all the best from the RUFORUM Secretariat, noting that that team that is online now will be among those chosen to do the official social media ring. And I'm saying social media ring for the RUFORUM triennial that is taking place in Benin. On behalf of Professor Dipala Ekwam and the team here at the Secretariat, I wish you very good deliberations. I know that our training team, Joanne and Patricia, are very good at what they do. They have expertise in social media and content management, especially. So I know that you are in good hands. I also want to thank our IT team, Dr. Otto and Dr. Martin Amitu for setting this up and really taking it forward. I wish you all good deliberations. I'll be listening in because I know even at whatever stage you're at, this content management strategy is quite important. Even if you are not going to be part of the designated team that is going to do social media reporting for the triennial, I know it is something that will be important in your day-to-day life and how you proceed in the different activities that you undertake. So I wish to thank you very much and I wish you good deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Florence, and for those kind remarks. So Patricia has done the first presentation for the day. And just to do a recap, it's a 3-day training. And tomorrow she will also be leading us in another content management strategy training. And then I will wrap up the training with metrics, reporting, monitoring, all the what they call the science of social media. So that's how our day will be lined up. It will be short, sweet, and memorable. That's what we hope to do. So from this training, we hope that those who attend fully from day 1 to day 3 will get certification. And we believe that from these engagements, you will have achieved knowledge on how to create content, on how to manage it, on how to report. So at least even if you're feeling overwhelmed, there is data to support what you're doing as a digital marketing person in your institution or in your business. So just to do a recap, Roof Forum will be hosting its first triennial conference in December. And as part of the training and the conference, we normally hold what we call social media boot camps. These have been done for the last 5 biennials, now triennials. And the idea is to allow scientists or young professionals to have a hands-on experience on how to use these platforms. Because now we've talked about planning on how to use Twitter, Facebook, Instagram to be able to network with like-minded people. So we normally have a boot camp where we have hands-on experience, but we are hoping from these training sessions that with this knowledge, you'll be able to also participate either hands-on in Benin, or you'll be able to do a remote session where we'll be using our hashtag, which is Africa Higher Education Week 2021. If you use the hashtag for these conversations, you'll be able to see who else is in the dialogue or in the loop of our conversations, and how can you network with like-minded people and be able to join in higher dialogue with ministers, private sector people, farmers, and also graduates, agribusiness people. So really it's an array of different people that Roof Forum has convened for the triennial that we believe are valuable for your networking as well as learning. So I do encourage all of us to, in your different platforms, when you have the time, find time to engage with us on Africa Higher Education Week 2021. Let's hear your thoughts about agribusiness and how and where you see the future of higher education going and things like that. So from Kahil and I, today we just want to know, before we wrap up the session, if we've met your expectations for session of day 1. And I think using the chat, would like to know if there are any concerns you have for the training for day 1, and if there are things you still want us to address in tomorrow's training and Friday's training. So please, kindly using the chat, kindly let us know what for day 1 training. And again, apologies for starting late. Tomorrow we'll keep time. Roof Forum trainings already start on time, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So let us know your sentiments, and we really appreciate you taking time off your busy schedules to be with us, learn and share with us. So I'm going over to our chat room to just see what you think about the training and how best we can improve, since we are about to wrap up day 1, keeping it short, sweet, and memorable. How do you say bye? So it's 11 o'clock. Do we have any questions? And just to send out a shout out to Esther Nekesa. I know you joined us in the previous training in September. It's good to have you once again. It's nice seeing return visitors in the chat room. So it's a pleasure seeing you again in this training, and I hope you're benefiting from what we are sharing on this session for today. And if there are no any other comments or questions or clarifications, we would like to wrap this up and then continue our conversation using the hashtag on any platform that you're on.
Yes, Esther, it's okay. You can leave. Thank you for being available all through. Thank you for your kind comment. Also appreciate. Jack, I also see you. Thank you for coming through. Yeah. Hope to see you tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Festo. Mr. Fabius, what a great deal on this session. I think we look in a bigger camera.
So from us at True Forum Secretariat, we like to do a
Main
final
screen is off. It was a nice session. Can't wait tomorrow's session. I just joined based on Nigerian AM. Oh, no, I did. Sorry. That is 2 hours behind. We're so sorry about that. The 9 AM is the London time. So we need to change that when we're sharing our things across the region. Thank you for notifying us about that. But you can recap, you can watch this on the YouTube channel or the Facebook channel because it's there. Yeah. Ingrid, you're also in Nigeria. Nice to meet you too. Thank you for encouraging Nodua to come through at 7 AM. Jarari, I see you too. You're welcome. Okay. So this is me, and we're going to use my screen. This is me and Joan. Go Joan, you can also see her the other side. So yeah, this is us. So
we just want to say thank you
Thank
so